One of the best things about being an artist is the opportunity to have a quiet life. I recently finished reading the book Quiet by Susan Cain, which is about introverts. As I read it, I discovered that there's nothing at all wrong with enjoying solitude and seeking out time to be alone. In our society, we're encouraged to believe that in order to be considered successful, you should have a big group of friends, constant social engagements, and always be the life and soul of the party. Growing up, I was encouraged to aim for this type of lifestyle. Even though I'm an only child, I was rarely without a friend over or at some kind of social event, club, or group activity. Some of us are simply not wired this way though. As I've got older, I've realised that I'm actually more on the introverted side. As a little girl, my favourite thing to do was to play on my own with my Lego or my Barbie dolls. I never once felt lonely, and I remember longing for more solitude, more time alone, just with my thoughts and my imagination. More introverted people prefer one-on-one chats far more than they do big group gatherings or wild parties. A lot of us are quite self-conscious about how we present, so we'll come across as outgoing and extroverted in order to better fit in. We'll tell jokes and laugh loudly, but really we're so much happier chatting with one close friend or spending time alone. Because I was unaware that it's actually perfectly okay to be like this, I always fought against it. I even chose a career path that put me right out there in front of people, first as a teacher standing in front of a classroom of 30 plus students, and later on as a salesperson at a bank, working in a big open office space where everyone could hear everything I was saying all the time. Working in these environments was completely against my nature. And I think that if you spend long enough trying to be a certain way, that you can come to think it's normal. Some of us are simply more suited to a quieter occupation. We can think more clearly alone than when in teams, and we find constant interaction with others quite exhausting. We have vivid imaginations and so many ideas, but in order to access them, we need time away from the crowd, uninterrupted. If you follow my channel, you'll know that I used to get migraines whilst working in my job in banking. I now think it was my body's way of saying, no, this isn't you. This isn't what you're supposed to be doing with your life. Stop trying to be somebody you're not. Acting out of character for too long can end up making you physically sick. Fast forward to today, I've accepted that being more of an introverted person is not a negative personality trait. The stigma that our schools and our universities and our workplaces put on being quiet or a bit shy isn't justified. More introverted people bring just as much to society, and we value human contact just as much as extroverts, but we function in a different way. We don't all have to be loud, outgoing extroverts like Tony Robbins in order to have value. The world needs quiet people too, thinkers, ponderers, and dreamers. I don't think you can define yourself as purely introverted or extroverted. It's definitely a sliding scale, and it's helpful to know where you would situate yourself and also those around you. I think it really helps to better understand your loved ones and value them for their unique qualities. Now that I'm an artist full-time, I spend my mornings painting and my afternoons creating content for this channel. I work alone all day, and at no point do I ever feel lonely or any need for company. I truly love being in my own company. I seek out my friends when I feel like seeing them, and I even have a great night out with the girls once a month or so. but hardly ever in a group of more than about 3 of us. Being alone is when introverted people can recharge. It's how they get their energy. They need time alone with their thoughts and their imaginations in order to be happy. They enjoy the company of other people, but too much time spent with too many people can make them feel exhausted. I have a friend who is the opposite. He needs to be around people to feel energized or happy even. He's the perfect example of an extrovert. He gets very sad and almost depressed when he's by himself for too long. He really thrives off other people, and we go on holiday with him and his family every summer. He's a great person to have around, as he's always making friends and bringing people together. But after a while, I'll need to recharge my batteries. I'll take the dog for a walk or go and read my book, and when I come back, I feel full of energy and excited to see everyone again. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this subject. Have you felt that you've been stigmatized for being introverted? Or maybe you disagree with me. Do you think that we need to be more extroverted to be successful, and that perhaps introverts are antisocial and somewhat unfriendly and should work perhaps harder to be more involved in society? What's your experience been of introverts and extroverts? If you're an artist, as I know quite a few of you are here, do you consider yourself an introvert? I wonder if most artists are in fact more introverted because we live in our heads and in our imaginations so much. Thanks for watching. Whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, stay true to yourself. Until next week, take care and stay creative. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider clicking the button below.